You see, I believe that nobility is likely the most important characteristic of any human being, whether that human is an athlete or a business person, whether they're a host or a KOL, no matter what role you're in government, in nonprofit sector. See, nobility is the most important characteristic of anyone's life. Being a valiant person, being a kind person, being loving, being faithful, being long-suffering, having grace toward others, being forgiving, forgiving yourself. The noble characteristics are of the most important characteristics a human can ever have, and you cannot be too noble. You and I will never arrive at perfect nobility. We must pursue and chase down nobility as though we are a hunter going after something that will feed our family. There's nothing more important than nobility. However, if you're only nice, kind, loving, noble, gentle, humble, meek, if you're only thoughtful and put others first and selfless, if that's all that your life is, the likelihood of you actually getting things done and accomplishing great things and building a legacy and having your children's children talk about the great exploits of your life is very low. You see, it requires a certain level of savagery to be an extraordinary human. Now, what is savagery? Savagery is when you become an unstoppable force. It is when your ambition and your drive, your tenacity, your confidence, your commitment is unstoppable. Nobody, no organization, no government, no nonprofit, no business, no father, no mother, no son, no daughter, no amount of money will stop you from accomplishing the goal that you set out before you. That, my friends, is savagery. Obviously, if you are only savage and you are not noble, you will blow out your community, you will ruin your relationships, you will likely end up drug addicted, in jail, suicidal, divorced. That, in and of itself, leads to a very, very difficult life. Just like nobility, in and of itself, leads to a very, very soft and maybe an effective life. And the reason I took time to make up that dream, to tell you a funny story, to start our time by getting your attention, is to tell you, I'm here to push you. You see, in my dream that I made up, I didn't stay in the pool and let the sharks eat me. I fought the shark. I grabbed the snake by the neck. I bit the sea lion. I made it through the pool. And when I was at the edge of the pool and the man comes up to me and says, you want my money? You want my business? You want my daughter? I wasn't interested in those things. I nobly responded with, I don't want what you have to offer. That's not why I'm here. I want to know who pushed me. Now, if you listen to me for the last 5 minutes of my talk right now, I'm going to invite you to a new life where in the future, you might tell your grandkids, there was this guy one time on October 11th, 2024, who rode around on this electric dragon. And he pushed me. He pushed me to think about being more of a noble man, more of a noble woman. He pushed me and he challenged me and he told me I had permission to be savage. I've been all over the world. I'm friends with lots of world leaders across the sectors of government and business and entertainment. I have the joy of speaking life into people. You see, part of my identity is that I am an encourager. I literally take my courage and I put it in somebody's soul. I am giving you, you noble man, I am giving you, you savage woman, permission to go further. Be more noble. Be more savage. Be unstoppable. Find that beautiful balance of humble confidence. I'm now going to transition my talk into what type of futurist are you with my last 3 minutes. So if you become this noble, savage human, you become this righteous, unstoppable force, then what do? What do you do when you're unstoppable? I would propose to you that what you do is you start to manifest the future that you want. You see, for many years, decades, centuries, and millennia, futurists, spiritual people call them prophets, those people that talked about what's going to happen one day, they were historians. They looked at what had happened the last 10, 100,000 years. They said, based on history, I kind of get the sense that this is where humanity is going. What we've come to understand about the ability to manifest is that most of us are not historians. Most of us are not looking at data and making predictions based on what has been. Rather, the type of futurist that we are is we're the visionary kind, the manifesting kind, the kind of futurist that says what could be as though it will be, with faith that it could be, and action to make it become the thing you imagine. In the sacred scriptures, shared by the Christian, Catholic, Jewish, and Islamic faiths, talks about how this unseen, mystical creator of all things created. It says he spoke. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. For those 2 billion humans in the world that look to Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, as their spiritual leader, how did Jesus do miracles? How did Jesus raise the dead? Lazarus, come out! So what did Jesus do? He wasn't a historian. He didn't tell Lazarus that he would come out of the grave based on historical data. He manifested a man raising from the dead. He told a dead man to rise. How did Jesus turn water into wine? He said, "Tell everyone to bring me water." He told somebody to do something with the faith that he would manifest a transformation of water to wine. And then he prayed, and it was done. And finally, how are you, how am I going to create the life that we want to live? If we are community leaders, how are we going to balance nobility and savagery, and how are we going to find ourselves comfortable in the position of being a visionary that manifests what could be, what should be, and then follows through to ensure that it will be? So again, I'm here to push you. I'm here to make you uncomfortable. I want you to feel like you can be more noble, you can be more savage, and you can create the life, the career, the finances, the family that you know is possible and to speak it forth and to follow it through and to enjoy the fruit of that faith. And with that, I thank all of you for your attention.